Hello, everyone. It's your sister Roland, and all I need is a few minutes for Testimony Sunday. I apologize. I was supposed to do it last Sunday, and if I didn't do it last Sunday, I was supposed to do it Tuesday. I didn't do it. My fault. I apologize. But today we have a testimony, and if you see the picture up on the screen, it was when I was in deportation proceedings. So to understand the story, I have to tell you where it began in the Bahamas, because I was born in the Bahamas and grew up there up until the time I was 16. So my father had died when I was 14, and my mother, we stayed in the Bahamas for like 2 years after his death. And then my mother's brother told her it's best for her to come to the United States because we would have a better opportunity, because if you are born in the Bahamas but you have Haitian parents, it's not easy for you. Number one, they don't even consider you a Bahamian until you're 18. And it's not, unless your parents had money, you may end up graduating high school and you really can't do nothing. Maybe it has changed now, but when I was growing up, if I stayed there, I wouldn't have been able to go to college. So we came over here. From the Bahamas, and we was trying to get legalized. But still, we didn't enter the country illegal, but we overstayed. So then you became illegal. So in asking different people for advice, they told us we could do political asylum because of what had happened to us when we were growing up in the Bahamas. And that's a whole other testimony. But the person that did it for us, that guy was like a crook. Just took our money, just put all kind of foolishness in there. So they ended up denying our political asylum. And then we were in deportation proceedings. So you have to go to court and stuff like that, so they could decide. Is either sometimes in the deportation proceedings, they either grant you it in the proceedings or you get deported. And so while we were in the midst of the court proceedings, they always give you court dates. So basically, I think we were in deportation proceedings since 2002. 2002, yeah, from 2002. So yeah, we was in. Sometimes you could be in, depending on your case, you can be in deportation proceedings for years, but you're still on deportation. You can't work. You can't basically do anything. Some people you can. They do give you like a work permit. Sometimes you don't have anything. But anyway, so we're in the midst of deportation proceedings. 2002, 2003, not 2004. It was in the people who was on the case was my mother, me, and 4 of the siblings. I had 3 other sisters and my brother. So it was us 5 kids. Now in the midst, our story is complicated. In the midst of the court deportation proceedings, my mother died in 2004, September of 2004, while we was in the midst of the court proceedings. And then when she died, we always had the same judge. Yeah, we always had the same judge. And then when she died, so now the case became complicated. My mother died, and then I had a sister. She got sick. My older sister got sick because I'm not the oldest. I'm the second. So she got sick because since my mother was the lead on the case, they would have had to put somebody else as a lead. My older sister couldn't be the lead because she got sick. She literally lost her mind, seriously. And then they made me the lead. So now I became the lead on the case. While I became the lead, that was 2004, I became pregnant. I became pregnant with my girls, and my younger sister became pregnant. And she was like 14 years old. So now the case got even more complicated because now we have children in the midst of them. And the judge was like, every time you guys come in front of me, your case is always complicated. So that's why it keeps on getting extended, because it was literally supposed to I think they were going to deny us at the time. I think, not sure. But every time for them to make a judgment, something always happens. Like my mom had got sick before she died. So that's why we keep on getting court dates. And they would give you court dates like every 2-3 months. So I'm pregnant with my girls. And then my younger sister is pregnant. So that was more complicated. And then because my mother had died, so we had it was certain stuff that my uncle, who's my mother's brother, he wanted me to do certain stuff, like send my younger sister to this lady that we don't know. And then because it was certain things because that's what he wanted. He wanted me to send my younger sister to this lady because she couldn't have any kids. And she really liked my younger sister. So he wanted, if I did that, then he would have continued to pay the rent for me because I was unable to work and stuff like that. And since unable, he was going to pay my portion, the kids' portion of the rent, because the person who I was pregnant for was paying my portion, and he was supposed to pay the portion for my brother and sisters because they had to live with me. Because then now I became, even if I didn't get pregnant, I was still going to be a mother because I had 3 younger siblings that were under the age of 18 that I had to take care of. So, and because I didn't want to send her over there because I didn't know who this lady was, so he didn't pay that part. And now we were like in eviction proceedings. Child, we was in immigration proceedings. We were in eviction proceedings. Oh my God. So I tried to hold on as long as I could, going to different agencies to see if they could help pay rent and stuff like that. At the time, the church I used to go to a church, they had helped me a little bit. So I tried to hold on as long as I could, but it was so difficult for me. And then in the midst of all this, I had just started going to the church where I'm at now. So I just started, and I was going through so much. I didn't know what to do. But like I always tell you, my mom always tell us, you could always run back to God. And I was so overwhelmed. And I was talking to a friend. I was like, I don't know what to do. I need to go to a church where I could pray, where I could pray. And then she was telling me, oh, you could already go to Pastor Nadej or by Samurai. And then I was praying. I was like, I don't know which way to go. And then I had a dream. I saw I was walking in this. All I saw was like 60-something street. And then when she told me about Samurai, and then when she told me about Pastor Nadez, when I look up the addresses, I see that Samurai was on 60-something street. So I said, I think that's where God wanted me to go. So I went there, and when I went there, they had some type of prayer thing, and I was able to pray. That's all I needed. I just needed to pray. And then, because I was holding on so long, I couldn't take care of my kids and my siblings. So I think I was talking to somebody, and they told me that if I put them in the foster care system, my siblings, they would have a better chance of getting their papers. So I had to make a difficult decision to call Child Protective Services or whatever, and they transferred me to like an investigator because they have an investigator. And then I was trying to explain to the lady, I can't take care of them. And she's trying to say, oh, you could go here. I said, I already, that's like, she would not listen to me. I was like, look here, we don't have any papers. I am able to take care of my sibling. That's why I'm calling you. And then she said, okay, where are you right now? I'm going to come to you. The Child Protective Service investigator. And then she came, within an hour, she was at the house where we were living at the time. And she was like, you see, what you just told me? I was actually supposed to call immigration, and they were supposed to get all you guys and arrest all you guys. But she said, something tell her no. Something tell her no, help them. And then she had to take my pregnant younger sister, my brother, and my other younger sister. And then they was trying to find a foster home for them that, where my siblings wouldn't have any issues. That's one thing I could say. My siblings, they went through the foster care system, but they did not, like the horror stories that you have heard, which are true. It didn't happen to them because God graced us. God gave us favor, because that's what I was praying for. I was like, God, give me favor because I don't know what to do. Lord, give us favor. And in the church that I went to, they gave us a prayer. They say, whatever you're going to do, always pray that God put people on your way and angels on your way. Where people cannot help you, God will send an angel to help you. And I always was saying that prayer. So they were able to get them in homes. They tried to keep them together. I think my brother and my younger sister were together, but my younger sister that I was pregnant, she couldn't be with them because she was pregnant. So she had they found a special place for her. She was a teacher till this day. They still are close, and she usually takes in young girls that are pregnant with kids. So she went there. So. And legal services at the time was helping us. They were helping us, and they, did all the documentation that they need for my siblings, and they were able to get, they were in the process of getting their papers. But me, I was still in the fight. I was still in the fight. So I believe 2005, 2006, 2005. 2006. So in the midst of that, my brother and my two other sisters, they got their papers. But I didn't get nothing. So they were trying to figure out, how am I going to get papers? And the person that I was pregnant for, it became like abusive relationship. Very much abusive, and I had to get a restraining order and everything. So they told me that I could do a J visa. I could do a J, and all this time I'm still going to the church that I'm going to and praying and asking God to forgive me, and asking God for guidance and stuff like that. They told me that I could do a J visa because since I didn't have any papers, and somebody that was a citizen of the United States or a resident of the United States, put hands on me, I could get a J visa. But J visa is not resident. It's like a visa, and it permits you to work and stuff like that. But it may never turn to citizenship. And I didn't feel that's what God wanted me to do. That's what the lawyers was pressuring me to do, because they just wanted us, because our case dragged on so long. They just wanted to be in a sense done with it, and to say that they helped us all. But I didn't feel that's what God wanted me to do. So much so, I remember my pastor